SonarFeed! Woo!
And welcome to SonarFeed. Happy Miki Day.
Happy Miki Day!
Happy Miki Day!
It is Miki's birthday, and we are here to celebrate with an MLS schedule. And I would just like to welcome you to 2019 MLS Cup in fucking Seattle, where it's freezing.
It's not that cold.
It'll be in November.
It's close to freezing.
It won't be in November. November's warmer than this.
Yeah, that's actually, yeah. Well, you know what? Just go with it.
Because they
We're
moved
going to do it live.
You forgot the episode number.
It's 265.
Very good.
By the way, we're live from the Berliner Pub, 3rd and Main.
You forgot the downtown Renton part.
I hadn't gotten there yet.
I missed my cue.
All right, we're going to start over. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to SonarFeed. This is episode 265. Happy Miki Day. Woo! Thank you.
We'll do it
We're
live.
coming to you live from the Berliner Pub, just off of 3rd and Main in downtown Renton.
Ahead of the curve.
I'm Dave. That previously was Mark. We're SonarFeed. We got 5 of us here tonight celebrating Mickey's birthday, the release of the MLS schedule, our first show of 2019.
Yay! Wait, finally. This is the first time that we could possibly do a first show of
Now, I
2019.
admit we did miss last week, the week before,
And the week before.
that.
If you were formerly Mark, this is the most fucked up version of Scrooge I've ever seen.
I was going to go there, and I'm so happy that you did. I was like, wait, was there a comma? Because I don't think that there was. I can't let this go. Anyway, so
it's going to be a fun show.
we were going to announce that it's Mickey's birthday, so he's in charge of the
Mickey
show.
Day!
Mickey Day!
I can't decide how Mickey would react to the fit. Like
Mickey's
to us
in charge.
just being like, Mickey, your show. What do you want to talk about?
Mickey, where's your stupid hat?
I forgot it.
Oh, I got one right here.
Oh, thanks.
It's a stupid hat.
I got one right here, too.
And Mickey just rolled an 8.
17.
17.
That's it. I'm going home.
Hey, so, wait, before we go on.
Wait, announcement.
Announcement. Mark.
Promised Nikki.
Yes.
A kiss to Mickey.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got that taken care of.
And you know what? We did it. We did it live.
Exactly.
Right. We could have done that in post, but we decided to just make it happen
Well, no, we couldn't
here.
do it in post.
I mean, we could.
I probably could have.
No,
It would look really
Adam's
shitty.
never going to do anything in post.
Not on this show, you're right. You're right.
For like something that pays him money, he might think about it at that point.
Maybe.
And even then, only if it's Tacoma Screw FC.
Tacoma Screw FC.
Well, guys,
If it's not Tacoma Screw FC.
dude, that would both be
SC,
the
the
best
soccer
the
club.
best like. You know how a lot of teams,
Screw club.
a lot of teams in like in England and elsewhere, it was, you know, like the factory workers put together a club team and did whatever. Like, I don't know, Arsenal. We could have Tacoma Screw FC, and it would be so good.
You know
I've
who's-
learned Tacoma history today.
Which is?
New Tacoma and Old Tacoma
Yes.
unified on this day, on Mickey Day.
How
Really?
did we not announce this shit
to
today?
become
Huge miss.
regular Tacoma?
Right. So it started out where like this settler dude was like, you know what?
New Tacoma was like Ground
railway-
Point.
Settler of Catan?
Basically, the railway is going to end here, the
Yes.
Transcontinental. So I'm going to found a place and I'm going to call it Tacoma City. And he laid it all out and it became a city. And then the railway came and they said, yeah, screw you, dude. We're going right there, like 2 miles north, and we're calling it New Tacoma.
Did you know?
And so, after a couple of years, the Washington territorial government was like, y'all are dumb. It's just Tacoma. And today was the day that just Tacoma existed.
Tacoma Reunification Day. Or Unification Day.
Yeah.
Did you know that Pullman is still bitter that the East-West rail line did not go through Pullman and went through Spokane anyways, even though they named the town after the Pullman train car?
I
You know-
didn't know that.
Pullman's still.
You know, I grew up in
upset that it's
Milwaukee,
snowed.
which is Algonquin for the good land.
Literally one of the best things in any movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm glad you told that joke because Mark would have hit me.
I actually did, though, but it was Milwaukee, Oregon.
I hope the board catches on fire.
So, Tacoma history
Yeah,
that's
Tacoma
not
history.
anywhere near as cool as what you just shared was there's this statue, the goddess of commerce, and it's a few blocks away from my office.
Oh.
And she's just kind of standing there and she's holding a number of different things. And I'm walking back with a couple of colleagues, and it's across the street from. I wasn't on a scooter this day because it was pouring. So anyway, there's a taco place across the street from it.
From the goddess.
From the goddess.
Wait, where is this?
And I
In Tacoma.
at 6th and St. Helens.
Okay.
And I looked over at my colleague, total straight face, and I said, "Do you think that is the taco ma?" And they just looked at me and they were like, "I'm never talking to you again."
I'm never talking
That
to you
person
again.
has quit their job since this moment.
I can't blame her.
I don't even
mean
know
you're
what to
hiring?
say. I mean, technically, yeah.
Do they have good tacos? What's the name of the place? Has Taco Man
Send
been
in
there?
Tom,
Is it
my
Red Star?
content management
Red
resume
Star?
right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, okay.
That's what that is, I think.
Has Taco Man been there?
I don't know.
We'll have to see if we can find Taco
Maybe.
Man.
We don't know where he is. He's still alive. He's probably at a city
Are we
council
off the
meeting.
rails already?
Rails?
We never got on.
The rails never existed.
Like the train, like steam engine never even made it onto the wheels part.
Choo-choo.
Like they built the wheels part and the engine's over there.
Oh.
they
Tom and I
have
built
yet
this
to put
great
those
list
things-
of like 9 things we wanted to hit on, and we are.
We have one thumbs down, by the way.
Yes, it was Jerry.
We are
You know what?
7
Will
minutes into
Bruin
the
wants to
show,
give us a
and
thumbs
we've
up.
hit 0 of them.
90% of the time it's Jerry.
You know that if
Thumbs
you told
down?
people that Will Bruin
That's 'cause they
says that
actively
you should
sought
give us a
us out.
thumbs up,
I'll do that again.
it's weird when you point that out.
Yeah.
We have 5 people here today, Tom.
We should maybe
One,
tell everyone
two,
who
three,
everyone is.
We usually
anyone
do that in the
wants to
first
show
like
that-
30 to 60 seconds of the show.
we
It has
completely
been
fell off
7.5
the tracks.
minutes.
Who's the hippie?
So,
the
Mickey,
hippie?
it's his birthday. Also, Matt
It's his
Oak's birthday.
birthday.
Happy birthday, Matt Oak.
Oh!
Yes, happy birthday, Oak.
Matt's
I-
drunk at the 5th.
That's Mark.
I hope Matt is listening to some Imagine Dragons. He really likes them, I hear.
I'm impressed at your production skills here. So, on the show tonight are
Weigel, formerly known as
it's
Adam.
at Weigel.
At Weigel.
Bougie Hooley, also known as Tom.
Better Than, also known as Dave.
Don't follow me on Twitter, also known as SSFC.
You're actually
3013.
doing so much better than we expected. You're in here as SSFC 4013's phone. Because for the last couple of episodes, that's who was on the show.
I don't know who gave me a keyboard.
Anyways, I'm Mark.
Happy Mickey Day!
Mickey Turner ESQ on the Twitters.
Anyway, welcome to 2019.
Holy fuck!
The Earth is 2019.
Happy birthday, Earth!
So anyway, so we have a number of things that we want to talk about tonight.
I don't know what you're saying. Oh. Yeah.
Push
keep
the button
running
and
the
do
Will
the
Bruin
thing
thing.
and the thing and the
I'm going to
thing.
do that again.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about.
You're working with idiots.
Our show plan session was
We
about 8
actually
minutes
have.
before
Here's the thing,
the
though.
show.
We actually did a show plan, and the joke was we were going to give it to everyone except you.
Me or
Let's-
Dave.
Let's double check. Mickey, did you get it?
Nobody got it.
Mickey showed up
What's a
31
show
seconds
plan?
before we went live.
You mean you two did a plan?
You mean Chopin?
Wait, what?
Okay, so what are the things we're going to talk about?
Let's talk about what everyone did over the holidays and get the.
Okay, yeah.
I didn't do anything.
That's the small talk stuff. Cool.
So I'll start because mine was the most climactic.
Wait.
Go
Did you
ahead.
get another kid?
No, but all of us, all of the children. That was really good. I should have said yes.
Does your wife hate me?
No, she doesn't watch the show.
Good choice.
She's too busy taking care of all the kids. Tom has deathed. He's down here, no longer alive.
Wait, but so really, did you get another kid?
Santa left it in my
Legitimate
stocking.
question.
Just keep going.
Adam, so you were talking. What did you do over the holiday break? SonarFeed took about a month off.
So you know that episode of Parks and Rec where Rob Lowe looks in the mirror and goes, "Stop pooping." That was basically our Christmas break, like the
Well, this
entire
is
week.
taking
That's right. You got sick.
Yeah, no,
You
no,
help
like the
Tom
entire
up,
week.
please.
We started
Tom's
on
old.
Friday before Christmas, and we didn't leave the house until Thursday, and then nobody was really better until like Sunday before New Year's. We did nothing but like play Mario Kart.
I know I'm not cold anymore.
He's actually crying.
All right, I'm gonna go over to Miki.
That happens when you're on keto.
Mainly because Tom's unaware.
Yeah.
What'd you do over the past month? Like non-soccer related.
Non-soccer
stuff?
related. Not a whole lot. Went to the beach for New Year's, Ocean Shores. That was quite fun.
Did you go to Galway?
Do they do like
To where?
Galway.
Galway
the
Irish.
Irish. Galway Bay, the
Bay.
Irish bar.
We did not. We
If you
basically
go
went to
there-
the casino.
Why did you even go then?
Because they have a cool casino there.
If
and
you
the
go to
beach
Galway
is
Bay,
nice.
you can meet the Cat Scratch Fever guy.
I have been to Galway Bay.
What's his name?
I forget his real name. Nugent.
No.
Nugent. No, Nugent.
Nugent did? Cat Scratch Fever?
It was Ted Nugent that I met. I just got his songs wrong. Sorry. Ted Nugent
You met
was at
Ted
the
Nugent at Galway?
Galway Bay because he stopped there before he went bear hunting.
As you do.
In the Olympic
With a
National
bow.
Forest.
Yeah, you have to have a guide from one of the local tribes
Oh my
in order
gosh.
to go certain types of hunting there, and so that's what he did.
Was there a big like fireworks show though? Like, did they do anything
Oh,
big at
Fireworks show when you were there for Mickey Day?
No, we were inside and it was we were drinking quite heavily, so
Notice-
we missed the fireworks show, unfortunately.
But they do one.
Yes, they do, right on the beach actually.
Oh man, that would be
Yeah,
awesome.
It would
For
have
New
been,
Year's?
cool. Yeah, for New Year's, it would have been fun to watch, but we were not in
Sober?
position to walk around.
Dude, it's kind of like
Welcome to the new
Yeah.
Sonar feed, where everything is Mad Libs, and Adam just throws out words.
All right.
But
normal,
aside from that,
though?
yeah, it was pretty chill month or so. So happy to be back and ready for schedule talk, which is
Yeah, we're-
super excited.
We're going to talk about Mickey a bit during schedule talk. Even Mark, you're up next because Tom's almost fully recovered.
I had a quiet break.
How'd you do at Mario Kart? We did really good at our house.
You didn't have a quiet break, dude. You traveled like 8,000 miles total.
It was fun.
Oh, yeah, that's
it was
right.
5,000 one way.
You were in like a different state or something.
I spent a couple days in Paris.
Texas.
By the way, you should never drink 3 bottles of wine and 3/4 of a bottle of aquavit in one night.
Don't tell me what to do.
I got a text from Mark once, and it was just like the first aid like military person helmet or something. And like there were no words. It was just some emoji. And that was all I heard from Mark that day. And I was like, did the UN come to where you are
Yes.
to save you?
Yes. Yes.
What happened?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I spent a couple days in Paris, then we took the Eurostar up to London, spent 6 hours in London, got the best picture in a London phone booth, opened the door, and there was a giant human shit in it. And I was like, this is perfect,
Hold on.
actually.
Best.
Be best. Hashtag.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, we went to Jamie Oliver's restaurant in right across from St. Paul's Cathedral. It was all right. I had higher expectations for what it was, but beautiful view.
Okay, let's just review. Mark, who's from Kirkland, was disappointed in London.
gotta fall over now.
I mean, yeah. Anyways, we
Didn't
walked.
measure
This
up.
party's dead.
I bought sunglasses. We walked across the Millennium Bridge. Saw the.
Mark's surprised their son.
I was. I thought it was gonna rain, like it does here.
How distracted is Mark? I just said he was from Kirkland, and I didn't get hit.
Well, it's a fact.
Dude, normally you object vehemently and say you're from Seattle.
Well, I was born in Seattle. I'm from Kirkland.
That's what I need.
I was
All
born
right,
in
so
Oregon City.
But I can't exactly get a tattoo of Kirkland.
Kirkland's-
I mean, you
Kirkland's
could.
skyline.
I actually think you should. Actually, wait a second. Let's pause for a
You
second.
got that like Bluetooth SIG building.
Oh,
Like,
there's
get that in-
time out.
Yeah, you should get a Kirkland tattoo. Kirkland
You should get
forever.
you should get a Yarrow Point tattoo.
Anyways,
Happy Mickey Day!
Juanita.
Anyways, I spent
Yeah,
most.
you can.
This will be the only one.
It's your birthday.
There we go. There we
It's
go.
a birthday cake on your birthday.
Liar. Wait, Mickey, did you? Who's driving you home, Mickey?
Just for the record.
Someone is driving Mickey home.
I believe I am, right?
That's probably what's
Good night.
Okay.
All right, so my good friend Tom Biro.
What? Oh, I don't get to finish my
I
story.
thought you were done.
No, you just wished.
Slam sock. Slam sock.
So, anyways, I spent.
No, that's not a tequila shot. That's a German chocolate cake.
Yeah.
Drink, then lemon.
JJ says you should get the Kirkland logo.
The Kirkland brand logo. I have to tell you,
Only if it's a tramp stamp.
I've got to tell you, I actually think Mark would do that.
I might
That's
actually.
a bad joke tactic. Don't do it. By the way, really on the down low, you know who has a cool flag?
This is live.
Bellevue. Bellevue's flag should be waving at every single Seattle Sounders game.
I was going to go with like Ireland.
Yeah, but that's only
Michael,
after.
look it up. Bellevue.
That's only
Bellevue
after the
City.
I'm on
Sounders
it.
moved to Bellevue.
No. Like, people have been using the Sierra Leone flag in the stands just because the colors were cool. The Bellevue City flag is
Coming to
basically...
you live from 112th and 8th.
It's got the city crest in the center and some offset blue and green
There it is.
fields.
You know who's got a cool flag?
Bellevue.
Scuba divers.
Yeah, that actually that's not too
That
bad.
would work
Oh,
in a
you mean,
Sounders game.
I like
you mean
it.
Trinidad and Tobago?
I like it.
You don't like a green and blue wave?
I think that the text should be taken away and it's just literally the green and blue wave. But for the
In
most part,
range.
I like, or and maybe leave the tree, but take the text away. I like it.
Live audience objects to the shade of green.
Anyways,
I don't necessarily blame them.
back
but
to my
yeah, it's okay, we
vacation.
can-
It's cooler than a tramp stamp with the Kirkland logo.
Kirkland signature, excuse me.
Is that what you are?
I feel like that.
You're a Kirkland signature.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Or something.
Mark, were you done? Or did
Anyways,
I interrupt again?
Mark, can
so
you please
then
be done?
Then I spent the next 8 days in the English countryside. But I do want to highlight one
Midlands,
moment.
West Midlands, North Midlands, East Midlands.
Midlands.
Y'all rented out a bar.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we rented out a bar for Christmas. Cooked for 20 people.
You had so many potatoes, it wasn't even funny.
So many potatoes.
Dude, how long did that beef boil?
I don't know. We didn't. I was in charge of the vegetables.
In England, they
Yeah.
boil meat and call it good.
Yeah, but we had ham, turkey, gammon, and
Ham, turkey, what?
gammon. So it's
Oh,
like-
from the Gammon Beast.
yeah, it's like
Peter Gammons.
fuck you.
We have boiled Peter Gammons. Leg?
That's from an old thing.
Anyways, so on my birthday, though, the coolest part, my buddy and I took the train up to Birmingham. Birmingham.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Brr.
At this
Brum.
point, you should
Brum.
know how
We
to
went
say
up
all
to
that
Brum.
shit.
Yeah.
We went up to Brum to go see an Aston Villa match.
Oh, that's some shitty soccer.
That is some shitty soccer. Actually, it was quite exciting.
Did you just tweet at Aaron the entire time?
I did.
Be like, your team is hot garbage.
So
He knows.
my buddy had failed to buy tickets, even knowing that I was coming for 2 months. So we got there. It was like, oh, we can buy tickets on the street.
Is your buddy you?
Yeah. You've met Simon, you know.
I agree.
Yeah. So we get up there. Oh, we can buy them on the street. Oh, just look for somebody selling tickets
Which
on the
is
street.
actually
Really tough in England.
So we walk up to a vendor selling like scarves and T-shirts and shit, and he goes, "Oh, I haven't seen people selling tickets on the street for years." And I just sort of look at Simon like, "Really? You should have bought these 2 months ago." Anyways, so game kicks off. We still don't have tickets. We're down by the ticket office. Aston Villa security guy is standing there. He goes, "Hey, you guys need some tickets?" And Simon's like, "Yeah." Because I'm looking at Simon like, literally, we took the train all the way up here. I'm going to murder you if we don't go to the game.
How did Simon do it?
Yeah.
There we go.
So the guy was like, "I'll be right back." He walks away for like 5 minutes.
Arrested you.
He's like, "Where's he going?" He walks over to like one side of the stadium and the other side by like the player entrance and whatnot, and comes back. "You guys, come around the side of the building." I'm like, "Oh, Simon's gonna have to."
Dude, nothing good has ever started
I'm like,
with
Simon's
come
gonna have
around
to
the
get on
side of
his
the building.
knees.
Did you like the dramatic pause that Mark just wove in there?
I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to Mark.
Exactly.
Anyway, so he goes, "Yeah, 20 quid each." Oh, okay.
What's a quid?
20 pounds.
Thank you.
Sorry, I was just there for 2
Like
weeks.
$37
for moment of tickets. That sounds like a good deal.
Yeah. They ended up being player comp tickets. We tried to give him a tip. He was like, "No, Merry Christmas."
Hey Siri, how much is a quid in American dollars?
134. Oh shit! It went
$1.28.
down.
Thanks, Siri.
Went down. Yeah, that's Brexit for you. So anyways, we ended up
Soccer news and political commentary.
on the 6-yard line on the Trinity side. Beautiful seats. Saw a second Villa goal. Went into the half. Went down. Got a beer. Barely at the end of half. And at the end of half, beer's done being served.
Really?
Done. And you can't take it in the stands.
And you can thank the 80s.
Yes.
For that.
Yes. Thanks, hooligans. And so then we watch the second half where Villa proceeds to give up 2 goals in the first 20 minutes and then ride it out. And then in the 91st minute, give up the game winner. And I was like, this is so Villa.
And then
The
you
whole-
immediately texted Aaron Campo.
No, I didn't because I was just like, I don't have the heart.
All right, so how many games did you go to while you were in England?
Uno.
He just told us.
I know.
Could you tell us about that game?
Simon failed.
So that was it.
Yeah. It was a great experience, though. Amazing.
Simon, if
atmosphere.
you're listening, go to bed. You're fired.
Simon.
Or wake up, I guess.
He's like in Bosnia or some shit.
No. He's still home. Actually, in the morning, it's rubbish pickup day, so he's going to be woken up at 7 a.m., and I'm going to laugh.
But also, you're fired. Because Mark only went to one game, so I feel bad.
It's okay. He
I don't feel
made
bad
he
anymore.
made the game happen when I didn't think it was.
Yeah, he got there.
Wait, you're saying that he scheduled that game for you?
Yeah, he said we were going to go to the
That's
game,
great.
and then
I
failed
didn't
to
know
get
that
tickets.
he could
Yeah.
control the EPL that well.
Well, it's not EPL.
EPL.
I don't know what I'm talking
It's
about.
championship. Of
So
which
anyway.
our other friend Ian was like, I don't even follow championship. Anyways,
Dave, how was your Christmas?
I survived and I made it back.
I want to know one more thing. Just tell us, because I read the internet comment version of it. Tell us about the moment when you realized you had a second seat on one of your luxury accommodations on an airplane.
Shit. Yeah, British Airways. So they come up to me and first class was not full, and they go, "Well, if you'd like, we can make this other seat up for you for a bed. So when you're done eating, you can go lay down there. And would you like pajamas?"
Did you say yes? Why didn't you say yes to the pajamas?
Did you say no? You
Hashtag
said
fuck
no?
yes pajamas.
Have you ever been to jail?
Like
No.
in a jail?
no.
I didn't want to wear other clothes that people had worn.
You don't get to keep them.
Wait. You keep them.
Well, fuck! If I knew that, I would have done it.
It's not like the Berliner blankets. You get to stay.
Oh, I need to bring those back. I need to bring those back.
Are they like
God.
Berliner ramekins where you take them home and they never ask for them back?
Shh, what are you talking about?
I think I went to the last Berliner party and gave them like 6 ramekins. I'm like, hey, I
Bring
found these
shit
in the
back
house.
to restaurants.
Well, they were ceramic ramekins.
So how excited were you?
I was blown away. The experience would have been way better if I had not spent 7 hours in Boston and then gotten on Alaska first class.
dude, over ocean first class is always better.
You can
than
that's not an Alaska issue. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
That's a international airline first class versus anything.
I should have bought all the way home.
Anyway,
Anyway,
you enjoyed your international trip?
yes. I did meet a gentleman at the bar in Boston from Hagerstown, which is where Emily Fawcett,
Herrera.
is from.
She and Lair are in the chat.
We don't know
Hi,
which one.
Em and Larry.
what a
Can you
boring
say Herrera?
Herrera.
Lemily.
Hagerstown.
Lovely.
Okay. Tom, can you do it shorter than Mark did it?
Yes.
Because it's been like half an hour.
Because we have 8 more topics
Yeah.
after this.
Sorry you asked about my 2-week fucking vacation.
First world problems.
Christmas was cool. I got basically, if it's a piece of gray or black clothing from Chrome, I acquired it.
Shocked.
And
Are you wearing
Christmas was no.
No, he's got
Jackets from Chrome.
different gray and black clothing on
I
right
have
now.
different gray and black clothing. This is from Lululemon.
it? Okay.
Anyway,
Do you have
Got a
yoga
stain there.
pants?
I had a good.
Do you have yoga
Another
pants?
stain there.
I don't.
Another stain there.
Actually, kind of shocked.
Dude.
From the ground.
What
I
were you
just-
doing on the ground, Tom?
Laughing. I did.
Literal.
I was literally
Like a
ruffling.
rafflecopter right behind me.
And then I coptered up with the help of Dave Clark.
Coppered.
Fuck you, Mark. Anyway,
Aren't you glad I'm home?
I am.
Well-
I did experience a number of fantastic bottles of wine over the holidays, which was great. And I didn't.
barefoot?
I didn't really.
The 1.5 liter.
I threw those.
I saw
threw those
barefoot
at
in
cars.
England. I saw barefoot in England. I was like, but why?
No.
Because it's 1.5 liters of wine for like $4.
Yeah, there it was 4 pounds.
And I will say,
$5.50.
best thing that I did over the holidays was, I went to Spinace, which if you haven't been, it's on Capitol Hill. It is amazing. I think it's the best Italian food in the city. In the winter, they have...
Better than Spaghetti Factory?
Nice.
They have these cipollini
Didn't they
onions
close?
Cipollini
that they carve out the center of and fill with house-made sausage.
Carve out the center of you.
And they cook them and they're amazing. And I attempted to duplicate this recipe at home. And for only 200% of the price that it cost to have them at Spinace, I did it at home. And it was 50% as good. So while I could serve it to everyone here and we'd all be perfectly happy with it, I've had it at Spinace and was like, huh.
Oh, where should we take JT for his birthday?
What about Mickey's birthday?
When is it?
Mickey's birthday, he
Why
went
don't
to
we
the
talk about this
Berliner.
later?
That's so good. We should,
All right.
we should
Anyway,
buy him a salad.
Chrome, shop at it, love it, live it. Adam Weigel.
I already told you what I did. I pooped a lot.
I knocked you on
I
your
want to see if
ass.
something changed.
No,
No!
I
it
knocked
was
you
a
on your
lot.
ass with a joke.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
My jacket's all dirty because of it. Because I was ruffling.
That's what she
That's
said.
a hoodie. Behind you is a jacket.
What did you do
David Clark.
for the Christmas break?
The coolest thing
You muck
was
stalls.
Well, I did do that. I do clean up after horses. No, the coolest thing that I did was my dad got me D&D books, which made me feel like I was a teenager again. what was funny is I said, "Where did you get them?" And he goes, "Well, I read your Facebook, and I found the place where you buy them, and that was kind of cool because it's neat when your parents pay attention to you. But also because I have no patience, I already own those books because I got them when they were released. So I exchanged them for other stuff that I didn't know I needed, but it's going to be fun." Like this.
Wait, what?
I brought one thing I got with me.
Nerd.
Yeah. This is the druid. It's a gnome. Gnomes are small creatures. They play in forests.
Oh, it's not Luke's aunt and uncle burned to a crisp.
Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Yes, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
I get those confused with gnomes all the time.
I don't know what's happening right now.
What? How did we get to?
You're on
How did we
you're on
get
a
to
timeout.
Tatooine?
Mark's on a 5-minute timeout.
I'm just thinking of warm places.
Blue card.
Yeah, so that was basically it.
Indoor soccer.
I know, but like,
Tom, let's move on.
Can you give like an unlimited supply of blue cards?
They can get another one when they re-enter.
Yeah.
Speaking of blue cards, that's from the Tacoma Stars, MASL Soccer. They're
have-
really damn good.
January 11th, I
Sports!
think, is their next home game.
7:30.
Yeah.
By the way,
Saturday night.
by the way, I have to say, last Wednesday was our first Wednesday night ECSFC Rainier game, and there was kickoff. Something happened. The forwards turned around and made a joke, and I just yelled "soccer" at them as a center back, and everyone bust out laughing. And then I was like, "We're going to let up a goal right now."
If you're not here, you don't know. That's because the live audience asked us to actually talk about sports.
So hold on, really quickly, while we're on the
No.
Stars.
Oh, Stars is
we
sports.
We didn't actually have this in our show notes, but Darren.
Darren Sawatsky
Yes.
just got hired by FC Tucson. They are in the USL
2?
League 2.
1? Which is the
No,
third league,
they're USL League 1,
which is the second league.
which is the lowest professional level of soccer in America at this time. FC Tucson is a affiliate club of Phoenix Rising, which means one of his team owners is Didier Drogba, and the other one is like this EDM dude that I don't know, but if I was 20 years younger, I'd be like, oh my God, he owns a soccer team. Bread. But yeah, so he works for them. They're going to be at the Tucson session of preseason. Both Phoenix Rising and FC Tucson will be well represented there. When I talked to Darren, and I still haven't transcribed it, he said that Tucson preseason training is like a D&D convention for me. It's basically anybody who's a nerd about soccer will love the crap out of it because there are coaches from, like, you have
Everywhere.
every team that's represented, all the MLS teams, plus Phoenix, plus Tucson, plus you have a bunch of other coaches and whatnot that hang out there, basically because there are 8 MLS sides that are going to be in Tucson for 2 weeks. The Sounders are going to be one of them. So Darren is coaching pro soccer and will build out a roster that's predominantly people from Arizona, kind of like Sounders U23s and the Tacoma Stars have been, and then supplemented with talent. He has 2 goals. His first one is to support Phoenix Rising, which is something that he did with the academy here, and his second goal is to represent Tucson and Arizona and build great men, which is one of the things that was a principle of his when he was here with the academy.
And who's taking over for the Stars?
Nick Pereira.
Nick Pereira.
Is he player coaching or
He is player coaching. And he did win his first game. They haven't won every game since, but he won his first game, which is huge. Pereira was acquired midseason last year from the San Diego Sockers, I believe it was.
Which, to be honest, is one of the best names.
Yeah, and Matt Clare. Pereira was a midfielder. Matt Clare was a forward for the Sockers, and he's now with the Stars. Dude, the Stars are a much better team than they were last year, like talent on the field.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's because of the hype video, yeah.
Yeah.
Can we also just give a shout out to Matt Oak? Roll Tide.
Okay. He won't know because he's at the Thirsty Fish drinking.
Now down 44-16.
He's trolling Oak.
Ooh.
What's going on?
So he's really hoping for the. Oh, he got the over at least. He got one of his 2 bets.
Oh my God, he did! He took the over at 58.
Yeah.
Good job, Matt Oak.
So that's Darren Swatsky, not on the list, so I won't check it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Syracuse Silver Knights, sorry. Why did somebody correct me and say that he was partnered with Matt Clare again?
He was with the San Diego Sockers from 2014 to 2016.
So they were right and wrong. I'm used to that. I'm often right and wrong.
Dave, what's up next on the show notes?
Show notes.
Oh, let's go to show notes. Okay, we're going to get back to schedule day because that's part of Miki Day, and I want to review what Miki did on that. Up next, let's talk a little bit about Siggy. Q.
Oi, oi, oi.
R.I.P.
I don't have it ready. That's it. You're on a 10-minute timeout now.
Okay,
And the best part is you could actually be on timeout because Mickey will just not give you back the microphone.
we found out the unfortunate news that Siggy Schmidt passed away on Christmas Day, on Boxing Day, and St. Stephen's Day.
Nice.
Said my fellow St. Stephen's attendee. And I wrote a lot about it. I think it was about 2,500 words that I wrote and about 800 words from other people at Sounder at Heart. Maybe 2,000. I don't know. We wrote a lot. Probably because Siggy Schmidt meant a lot to American soccer. When we looked into the organizations where someone he either coached or who coached underneath him and they're now in a position of power, it's all over. Both LA clubs, Seattle. Oh shoot, I can't even remember all of them.
Columbus.
Like Columbus, obviously, UCLA, Harvard, the U.S. National. Like he, when you looked at his influence and his coaching tree, I don't think there's an American coach who has a bigger coaching tree, because despite Bruce Arena coaching more and winning more titles, I think Siggy developed more people into coaches than Arena has. And they overlap quite a bit since they both coached the Galaxy at various points. But and then obviously here, Siggy's influence is immeasurable. As I wrote, I don't know, shortly after our victory parade that we went to, Siggy was one of the missing faces of the victory parade. And unfortunately now Siggy is going to be one of the missing faces in American soccer. Yeah. I don't know. I know we have to talk about this, but I don't.
We should talk about it. Well, I mean, for as long as the crew wants to talk about it. I think we've all had ups and downs with, let's say, Ziggy as coach, both on this show and in a bar or at games or whatever it is. I don't think anyone's trite or dumb enough to ever be like, I'm going to drop negative comments about him from an overall standpoint. If you're that stupid, then to be honest, you're that stupid. What struck me most, and I think this is the thing I feel about a lot of people that we have access to here in Seattle from a talent standpoint, coaches, front office, whatever it is the first time I ever was in a 5-foot square with him was at the viewing of the Scott Levy film at Cinerama. And he just kind of stood up in a spot and took pictures with people and shot the shit and shook hands and this and that. And in a really weird way, for somebody who I knew of before I ever moved to Seattle, just from a soccer standpoint, he was almost uncomfortable with everyone wanting to pay him that much respect for an hour after a film viewing. And that was super, super interesting to me, having like, in fact, before I moved here, my previous job was literally working at MTV with famous people all day. He was the antithesis of 90% of the people that I worked with. And that's not a criticism of them. It's like a credit to him. Like, he was no different than if you walked into the bar and were like, let's take selfies with some random person. Like, he was just so nice about it. He's like, sure, I'm going to give you my time. I don't feel like you should think you have to do this. And that was really interesting. And he was happy to answer a question or two and shake hands and hug or whatever people wanted to do in the lobby of Cinerama. And like, if you think about the impact that he had on, forget just Seattle for a second, like American soccer in a 50-year span, that's pretty nuts at the end of the day. And the fact that, you know, he's the first coach in the MLS era for Sounders, and I think your point about coaching tree, like that's a big NFL thing people like to talk about, is you could be a mediocre NFL coach that lasts 30 years, but you might have taught all the best minds in the game, and that's a thing that people are able to do. And I think that's the kind of thing we should all remember, is like he not just had a dramatic impact from a victory standpoint. We've seen the tweets in the last 12, 24 hours about winningest coach in U.S. Open Cup, you know, from a true impact standpoint, and so on and so on and so on. I think we all know that at the end of the day. But like, this is a thing that everybody doesn't get to have with the teams that they love and care about, whether they're winning teams, losing teams, middle of the road teams, whatever. And when you have people like Schmetzer, who's a very thoughtful guy, but you have a guy like Schmetzer who's like, wow, like I pulled up the comments that he had made that's on Sounder at Heart. It's like really, it's 99% about life and people and relationships, and 1% about soccer, if you like really dig into it. And that's kind of cool, you know. And I think what was really nice isn't the right word, but what was really uplifting for me, I was literally in a car when all of this news was happening, heading up to Snoqualmie on Boxing Day, texting with some friends and going back and forth, and we had heard the rumor, but no one had really confirmed it. And I remember I was actually texting some front office people about something completely unrelated, and then they wrote back and they were like, hey, this happened, we think, FYI. And then all of a sudden it was like the deluge of private messages that everybody, you know, seemed to be having, excuse me. It was a really, like, I don't know, interesting moment in life to think about. And what was really touching to me was even people who were like the most vociferous, I want a new coach people were also like, wow, this really sucks. I genuinely like feel bad. Like, I'm going to stop what I'm doing right now and pay attention to this. And there's not a lot of people I think any of us will probably interact with, hang out with, work with, whatever you want to say in life, that's probably going to happen with. So, you know, at the end of the day, like, we're lucky to have had someone of that stature here in the first place, let alone as long as he was able to make it in professional sports in Seattle with a big team. And
because this was his longest tenure, basically.
Yeah.
So, and it
and
always
again, that's
felt
credit
like,
to him.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
and it just felt like obviously there was a bit of the story wasn't finished.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it was on ESPN or at the Athletic when Sounders when we finally won the MLS Cup, and Ziggy was like, you know, paraphrasing, that should have been me. I wish I could have given that to the fans. And that's kind of thing I'll always remember, is just you know, it was probably time based on what was going on, but you know, you could just tell that was something he wanted to give us.
Yeah.
So badly, and it just,
well, and the guy was in the stadium.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that. How many times did you lose your job and then get invited back to the Christmas party at the end of the year? Like, it doesn't happen. And again, like, credit to him to be in that position and to be a big enough person. Like, as not literally, like just as a genuine person, that was something he wanted to do and be a part of. Like that was super cool.
Yeah. And obviously, you don't always get a happy ending in sports.
Right.
So that's obviously unfortunate, but it was just the things I'll remember is just, as you said, he just was gracious with his time. I remember just being on away trips, seeing him walking down with the team. They do their walks the day before the game or the day of the game. And always
That's
had
a
a few
Siggy
minutes.
thing, by the way.
Yeah.
One of the things that he instituted and people that he's influenced do this, but the casual walk around the city that you're in on an away day is a Siggy thing.
Do you know why he did that? Like, did you ever ask him? Like, what is the reason that you do these walks?
No, I typically asked him questions that were probably really stupid about soccer.
I doubt that.
No, I didn't ask him about that, but I'd heard that was something that Siggy wanted to do. Was I think I'm remembering bits and pieces of other conversations, but I think part of it was getting together as a team, doing something that's not soccer oriented, and to understand, to just kind of be aware of the environment that you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I would assume. I would just love to
Wait, 30
heard
seconds.
the reason why.
Okay, you're allowed to talk again. It's been 10 minutes.
I'll always remember when Mike Castanella's book came out, and we were at what was that bar?
Market Arms?
Market Arms. And Siggy was there with like Casey Keller and Zach Scott and Brad Evans and a couple other guys. And he just was talking to everybody, all the fans, and super approachable. And in my mind, I'm like, holy shit, this is Siggy Schmidt. This is head coach of the Sounders and soccer legend in the U.S. And you just walk up to him and you just start talking to him and you just talk about anything.
One of the things American soccer fans tend to forget and or not know about Siggy is his respect that he had in the international community. And some of that was because he was the assistant coach to Bora in the 94 World Cup, and he was the head coach of the US U20s, Brad Evans, and I think Sammy Ochoa and like a third of that team eventually became Sounders. But one of the interesting things is I remember at one end-of-year business meeting when Siggy talked, and he said, so I was talking to Arsene Wenger over the off-season when I spent a week with him.
And everyone's like,
What?
Yeah, because I just hung out with
Arsene Wenger.
hanging out with Arsene Wenger's probably in the Rushmore of international coaches. And for Siggy to spend a week hanging out with a man of that caliber was a significant sign of respect. And then I remember another story. It may be apocryphal, and I kind of hinted at this when I wrote about it, is Obafemi Martins was asked when he was with Levante what team he was going to be joining. And he said the Seattle Sounders, and one of his teammates supposedly said, that's Siggy's team. One of Obafemi Martins' Levante teammates knew the Seattle Sounders
Because
as
of Siggy.
Siggy's team.
that's real specific.
And supposedly there's stuff like that, obviously in Germany,
Right.
England, Spain, 3 of the top 5. Yeah.
Up until the end, too, I would have said that his end of coaching the Sounders is 100% with Siggy's team.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I mean, until that fateful year.
2016 didn't go very well for him.
No. But up
On, like,
until then,
a zillion fronts.
It absolutely was his team.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can talk about
Tom, how do you want to like segue into anything?
You want to bridge to something else?
Like bulldozer?
Well, I mean,
It's just going to be raw. So
it's going to be rough.
happy Mickey Day.
Mickey Day.
The schedule came out, and guess what? Mickey Turner was right.
Gospel bulldoze.
Mickey Turner posted on socceresq.com.
I was going to go to
Sorry.
Ozzy. I was going to go to Ozzy Alonso, but this seems better.
In a story for theathletic.com, you can subscribe, find a discount because it's never full price.
That is absolutely true.
It's $1. Oh, cool. I spent too much then at $3.
No, you didn't. It was a good investment.
So Mickey Turner wrote that the schedule was going to be compacted as the playoffs moved, and we already had the playoff announcement. That was going to be compressed to a
In between the
7-team
November.
from each conference, 1-game knockout, which means only the top seed gets a bye, and boom, it's in between 2 international breaks. And that meant that the regular season was going to end as early as October 6th. And today the schedule came out, and Mickey was right.
And the Mickey Turner was right.
So that's Mickey Turner of SonarFeed. No, you can support him on Patreon. One of the other cool things that he had was that the Wednesday games were basically going to be nearly evenly distributed.
Which they aren't. Well, I guess they. It's
Not every team has 6.
Yeah.
The Sounders are a team that has 7. Some
yeah.
teams have 5, but it's
Yeah.
basically 5 to 7.
Yeah, basically.
Midweek games. That's Tuesdays to Thursdays.
Yeah.
So the schedule is out. You can find out about that at basically any site that covers soccer right now.
MLSsoccer.com.
The first game is in 53 days, 22 hours, 38 minutes, and 7-6.
We have a countdown timer
seconds.
on our
And
website.
well done, Weigel, on that. That's pretty nice.
Yeah. One of the cool things about it is we start hosting an expansion side, FC Cincinnati, so they won't know how to play yet. We also thought that last year and then lost.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have. Played better than that, but still lost. A couple of standouts. The at Portland game is on a Friday. It's going to be really great television because ESPN has double headers that night
Yeah.
of rivalry week. Like the rivalry week TV schedule is something like 7 or 8 national games between Wednesday,
and
Friday,
Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. I think something like that.
Yeah.
Rivalry week is going to be blown out, and it is basically in the dead month, right?
August. Yeah, late August.
Yeah, so it's late August. You don't have any college football. You don't have any NFL. It's when baseball is kind of in what they call the dog days. So that's a good call by Univision, Fox, ESPN, and MLS to put the Hell is Real Derby, Cincinnati versus Columbus, Hudson Rivers in there.
Minnesota's Kansas City for some
Which,
reason.
well, you got to have a rival somewhere. Can't remember who's at. Oh, Atlanta and Orlando is in there, which is a huge one. Portland, Seattle, obviously.
Yeah.
So that rivalry week is going to be really awesome.
Yeah, should be fun.
Except that you're going to leave work 2 hours early to get on the bus to go to Portland. The TV aspect of it is going to be amazing.
Two.
Here's the positive though, is you can drink your fucking ass off Friday night because you don't have to be back to work until Monday. You have 2 full
Right.
days to recover.
When you forget about the day after your day at Portland, it'll be fine because it's just a Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. You got 2 days to recover instead of just like half a day.
You'll get home at 2 a.m.
Go back the next day, or just stay in Portland at my parents' house. All of you.
We could stay at Costigan's house. He's got to have a place there still, right?
That is
So that's one of the big notes. Other big notes is the Seattle Sounders actively avoided international breaks again. They're playing on one of them. They're also playing because the international.
There's no home games for 2 months, basically.
Yeah.
There's one in
Not
2 months.
It's
a
like
fan.
jam that in the middle.
That,
I'm not a
that
fan of
one
the
kind of
schedule.
sucks. Be aware that Portland is going to be like DC United.
Yeah, make
They
a run.
aren't signing Wayne Rooney, but they are getting something like
I mean, they
10 of
might.
11 home games in a row. In the final third of the season.
How convenient.
Well, they have to look like the Globe Theater. Supposedly that was one of the inspirations for their expansion. It's because it's really steep. They're doing like this ultra steep, like 4 rows deep, and then 4 rows, and then 4 rows.
Fixed the desert yet?
No, they don't really care about the visiting portion. That's not getting an upgrade at all.
Care about their,
La Bombonera or GTFO.
did they send any of their?
It's a nod to
Merritt
Ashland,
did say that it was
Oregon.
part of their inspiration for the expansion.
Shakespeare Festival.
That steep
Got it.
vertical that they're
Yeah.
doing along
In
the
Ashland,
roadside
Oregon.
Let it go.
was the globe.
It's the southern point of the
Yeah.
state every year.
Merritt deleted his Twitter, supposedly.
Yeah, it's a shame.
You know that guy has like 70 burner accounts.
I am Merrick Garland's burner account.
Atlanta was a preposterous 17 national
Atlanta led.
televised home games. I think that's a record from what I've been able to.
Yeah, the top 5. Well, it used to be limited to 14.
Yeah, 14,
so
yeah.
17 is pretty easily the record.
Yeah.
The 2 LAs, Atlanta, Portland, and DC, are the 5 most televised. Seattle comes in tied for 6 with like several teams.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised at that because Seattle's TV ratings have been better than most of the teams that are going to be featured nationally.
And I was hoping that would mean.
Are
that
you
we'd
trying
have
to
many
apply
more
logic?
Saturday night games, but that is not the case, unfortunately.
More Saturday night than last year.
Yeah, I guess.
Thank God.
That's but not much saying much.
That's because we had one in
Yeah,
the second
day
half.
drinking goes well for Mark.
No, it really doesn't.
I'm just going to say right now, I've lost less days to 7 p.m. Saturdays than I have 1 p.m. Saturdays.
I'm still trying to find you.
Exactly.
Where
Those are some of the schedule highlights. Also, the Seattle Sounders announced their first friendly. It's on your ticket package, those of you that are season ticket holders.
February 20th.
Nacional!
Post that shit on Ticketfly now.
Quick, Adam,
What's up?
who's the player that you know who played for Nacional?
Was it you?
His name was Nicolas Lodero.
Nico Ladero!
Tom, who's the player that you know that played for Nacional?
Did I get it right?
Is that a Snuggie?
No, it's a.
I mean, I would say Nico Ladero.
Mickey Turner. Happy Mickey Day.
Thank you.
What player do you know who played for Nacional?
One Nicolas Ladero?
Mark, you're allowed to talk again.
I already said Nicolas Lodero.
Okay, cool.
Luis Suarez.
That's the one I'm looking for.
Oh,
So,
duh.
you know why Nico Ladero and Luis Suarez are best friends?
Because they
Nacional?
team.
They played for Nacional in the youth or academy system from 2003 to 2005.
They both, like,
That's
chewing.
when Luis got pulled up to the first team.
They've got hair.
And then 2 years later, they played together again.
GDU in 2003.
Stop.
Nico,
You,
Nico has
you and I
two
can't talk
legs,
about age.
And
Can we please
Luis
not do that?
Suarez
Do you
has two
think
legs.
that when Nico calls Luis on the phone, they talk about eating?
Yes.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Just checking.
And Mate.
Cold.
Good call.
The other player that you might have forgotten played for Nacional was former Seattle Sounder, 2-time Seattle Sounder, Alvaro Fernandez. Flacco played for Nacional after
Is
the
there a
Sounders,
picture
after the
of
fire,
Nico
after
and
that
Flacco
Qatari
hugging,
club.
maybe?
I have a picture of Nico and Flacco hugging in an article on Sounder at Heart about the friendly.
Who wrote the article?
Dave Clark.
Oh!
So all I'm saying is that Luis Suarez is probably going to be in the stadium that day.
Eventually, we're going to have a butterfly on this show, and it'll come between us.
Oh my God.
I thought it was a pretty significant thing, but those two didn't even notice.
So wait.
That's good to.
Scarves up.
So
Oh God, that would be a Joe Roth, if you're listening, have Luis Suarez, have Suarez do scarves up for the friendly.
Oh, you got his number. Text him.
Is Suarez on
Taylor
break
Graham's
during that
number.
I'm
time?
texting.
It's a
You're
Tuesday.
gonna text Taylor Graham, aren't
Or
you?
fly out to Seattle?
Hey, Wayne Rooney's going to take a bunch.
Did you just say? Are you going to text Heather Graham?
Taylor. With
He's
his
gone on
team.
longer flights.
Because that made it
fun.
weird.
Who's Heather Graham?
Who's Heather Graham? Are you serious?
Like the actress?
Fucking Google that
I don't
right
know
now.
who that is. How would I know who that is?
To know, the Berliner Pub just brought Mark a straw for his beer.
I don't know her.
Cut one to make it a little longer and stuff
The only
No,
movie.
no,
Okay, so I saw Austin Powers.
I don't want to strangle the
I
turtles.
saw Austin Powers. That's the only movie, at least of these first 5, that
Boogie Nights?
I didn't see. Boogie Nights. I have not seen any of the movies that she's been
Okay,
in.
so those are
I
our...
saw Swingers. She was kick-ass in Swingers. That was a fucking good movie.
Tom's got her number.
I texted the FO and told them that we have declared that Luis Suarez needs to do scarves up for the Nacional match. I actually just did that.
He
Taylor,
did. He literally.
And tomorrow,
I can prove
I'm
it. It's
probably
right
going to
there.
get a shitty text message back being like, what the fuck, dude? It's 8:30.
Why are you texting me after 8:30? I've been in bed for half an hour.
Be serious, Tom.
One president.
Tom, be serious, please.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
By the way, ECS currently only has one president. It's Tom.
By the way, can we just say?
No, you can't.
Yes.
No, you can't.
Yes.
This can only go poorly, right? Whatever he says is going to be bad.
Yes. Yes.
Can
Yes.
we just?
A
Can we
month
just?
layoff should never happen.
Can we just thank Heather for her years of
Oh
service?
my God, I thank Heather literally every day.
Because she did an amazing
Please come
job.
back, Heather.
No,
Kick Tom off.
Heather,
You'll
please.
find it's less stressful to be
Heather,
president.
please enjoy your retirement.
From the chat, why is Mark dressed like
Talking?
a glowworm?
Oh,
Is this the pupa?
Mickey, is there
phase?
anything
Is this-
scheduled?
Is this pupa? Is that what this is?
How do you spell doesn't?
Doesn't or does in the number?
would you like to rub my belly?
No, I feel like I got it wrong.
So it's a hard pass.
Okay,
Guys,
It was underlined.
and
I was confused. It was underlined.
hey,
so anyway,
with the schedule coming out, the Seattle Sounders announced their preseason activity. We already mentioned they're going to be in Tucson for the Mini Mobile Cup,
Excuse me, that's Tucson.
and
Is that your Colonics?
Yes.
by the way, best FedEx commercial ever.
strong recommendation. Tucson happens to host the Metals and Gemological Society of America
Shiny object!
during that same time. So, if you're going to the Mini Mobile Cup to see the Seattle Sounders, look to some other local places to stay, because literally all the hotels and motels in Tucson will be stuck full of gemologists. So look at places like Bisbee and Sierra Verde down in far South Arizona.
So if you're looking to get cut by diamonds,
I'm so glad nobody can hear you but me.
Yeah. I will be down there for that.
That will
trip.
save you money. Like literally staying in Bisbee, which is like old-timey Old West Town
That's my zipper.
meets
Yo, JJ
That's
just
all
said
he's doing.
GIA rolls deep.
Gemological Institute of America. So yeah, the other thing we have to announce is first practice, January 22nd.
Because why would we have it on the 21st, the day that many people are not working?
There's
That
an
makes
interesting
too much goddamn sense.
there's an interesting thing happening with the Seattle Sounders on the 22nd. Is it's about a week later than the earliest date they'd be permitted. The earliest date I think is not the 27th. Is the 18th? I think is the earliest
I
date.
think,
this year, the Wednesday after the draft.
I think the CCL teams are starting on like the 13th or 14th.
I mean,
They're started before. The
I've
third
never
and fourth
heard
round.
rumors
Yeah.
of players showing up to practice
Players are allowed to
before
practice.
they're allowed to be there.
No, they're allowed to practice in the facility. They just can't be guided by coaches.
Is that like guided by voices?
Voices.
So, January 22nd, ECS has already announced to show up to Starfire at 9:30 if you want to hang out with the players. It's not going to be at about 9:30. I'm not supposed to tell you it's at 10:30.
We think it's 10:30, but we said 9:30 because literally it changes every time we ask someone.
It's actually 8:34.
No, the last one
Thank
was
you.
on the weekend.
See?
Anyway,
And they had hot cocoa and more.
And
Dave.
there's going to be some interesting things about first practice, because normally most teams for first practice is like, this is where we practice. We go out to this field, kick a ball a little bit, let's go inside. But last year when so many people showed up, Schmetzer just had them play 11v11.
It was pretty serious.
And they're doing it in front of like 400 fans.
So the one that Kristen was talking about,
The one after MLS Cup. That was the big one.
was that when that was?
Uh,
I feel like it was before
2016
that.
was a big one too. When Ziggy
It was either 15 or 16.
That's a big one as well.
It was. I think it was 16.
Big. 16 was big. 16 was the one
I
where
don't know if
Was it
17
weekend,
was that
right?
big.
Sarah-
17 was not that big.
Where we
painted
had
the big banner.
Tifo?
we had
Tifo was
donuts.
2016. And they were
We had donuts.
Yeah.
We had coffee.
2017
We had
was
Good
not-
Morning. And I got to tell you, and we've talked about this here, Ziggy came over to the fence line and told us what drills he was going to run that day.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that was some pretty serious, like, that was pretty nuts.
I think it was 2015 where they still left the like thicker like vision blocking stuff up from the Copa America, and
Thanks, Messi.
Originally, Starfire was like, "Hey, you have to stay out here," and Schmetzer just picked up the gate and said, "They're Sounders. They come in."
Family doesn't stay out here.
And so he let, and the hundreds of people were let in, and that was because of Brian Schmetzer. So the fact of the matter is you're going to get as good a view, if you're a fan and can get that day off, the 22nd, show up at 9:30.
I have all days off right now.
Adam will be there.
I'll be there because I'll have all days off the week after. So who cares about that?
I'll
day?
be there as well.
Anyway, first
so
practice.
show up for first practice because it's a pretty incredible experience that a few hundred fans get every year. You're going to have the visibility that all the credentialed media will as a fan. Players will greet you. They will shake your hands. They will accept your welcoming of them into the Sounders family.
Do they accept children as gifts? I have a few.
You,
Do you have any to spare?
not yours.
Out with my dad.
But for real though, just as big as showing up at the airport before or after MLS Cup finals, random away travel, other matches in the middle of the year. It's just as big as that. And I would say, to your point, like, you're getting the same access that the media is getting the rest of the time. Like, you want to stand in the aisle and high five trialist number 3? You can do that.
You'll see a ton of academy players and S2B named later players there.
Draft picks, obviously.
Draft picks will be there.
It is there, though.
Current leader in the SonarFeed clubhouse is Tacoma Screw SC,
But not Ray, sorry.
also known as Screw Club.
Sorry.
Ray Sari is now with the Quails, by the way.
The Quails?
Sacramento Republic. Their official nickname is the Bears, but they did an April Fool's joke where they rebranded as the Quails.
I missed this.
I didn't
That's-
understand that.
Only like 4 days ago did he sign with
Yeah,
Sacramento.
I didn't understand the Quails thing. I was like,
Did you know this?
No.
It's
I
one of
didn't
their
know this.
Their social media manager did an
What?
amazing job
That's
at
that's
rebranding
Hiding
them
this
as the Quails.
joke
No,
under.
it was like 3 years ago, but I'll never let it die because it's pretty
an
awesome.
IKEA rug.
well, I mean, it's only relevant.
If you're
You know,
in
important
Sacramento,
to Sacramento, exactly,
So
yeah.
Ray Sari's with Sacramento this year. Francisco Narbonne hasn't been signed yet. Ismail Usman, who was cut by S2 during this offseason, is with the Nigerian U20 African Nations Cup. So he's like really fucking good.
Should we talk about other players that may be on the move? Or
Oh
former
yeah, let's
players?
talk about first team players that'll be on the move because that's a little more significant. Let's start with Brad Evans retiring. He is currently traveling the world and I believe in South Africa. He told he was on with Mike Gastineau and said that one of the things he and his wife wanted to do before they before they decided what he was going to do
Becky,
long
was you
term.
there?
Absolutely. One of the things they wanted to do before he decided what he was going to do was go to like South Africa and I believe Namibia or Namibia, but
Namibia.
one of those two.
One of those is a country that Donald Trump made up. The other is a real country.
I only heard it on the
actually
radio.
not kidding.
Wait, which one is it?
So he's touring Southern Africa for a little bit before, and what his dream gig is he asked was
No, I'm trying to make sure.
what Brad Evans wants to do is be kind of that liaison
Level
coach
of intimacy is a
between
little too much for me right now.
a MLS2 team like S2 and the first team. He wants to work for both, like basically have one foot in both organizations.
Can you
helping
imagine
guys
Brad
like
Evans
going on in
coaching
this show right
a
now?
team called Tacoma Screw?
Screw Club Tacoma?
Oh my! He would die.
So that was the first one that I thought we should mention about players moving on. But Mickey, hit me.
All right. Well, obviously,
Happy
reports came out today that El Corazon may be on the move to Minnesota.
Aussie forever!
The one that I really want to hear you talk about, though, is I hear Alfaro might be leaving.
Darn.
Mark, what do you have to say about the subject?
Bummer.
It's a very restrained, shockingly restrained response.
I'm heartbroken.
All right, let's get back.
I'm gonna be like Marvin. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like Marvin in
We are 1 hour and 11 minutes in. Let's get back on topic.
Marvin in Hitchhiker's Guide.
Next episode.
You wouldn't be interested
Back
in my
on topic.
opinion.
Okay, so
Title of the next episode.
a report
Episode
from both MLS
266.
Soccer and
Back on topic.
Minnesota papers have been that Ozzy Alonso could be announced.
Isn't there only one
Minnesota
paper left?
United part. No, they have two. They have two cities, so two papers.
I think
So about 5,000.
St. Paul Pioneer Press and
Minneapolis.
TwinCities.com.
Yeah.
That really worked out for the.
Is that literally the name of the paper?
Two-
TwinCities.com?
That's their website. Yeah.
That worked out for the Seattle papers.
No.
Anyway, so Ozzy Alonso.
Yeah.
Likely.
What are we like?
was the quote.
89.7% sure.
The quote was likely, so
I'm going to go
So not.
Yeah.
98%.
So he's going to NYCFC.
Well, there was a rumor about FC Cincinnati making a 2-year offer. Supposedly, Minnesota United trumped that,
That word's
which is
not allowed on this show.
interesting because they're actually limited in how much
Yeah.
money they can offer.
they can only offer basically
The
right
max.
up to the max, the DP max, which is what, like 525 or something.
What if
like
they
that
get
this
rid
year?
of Mark Birch's contract?
They already did.
Yeah, they already declined his
That was a joke.
contract.
So what I didn't realize too is we can't rebuff and be like, oh, we're
You
gonna give
can't.
you-
Well, the Sounders could come back and try to
Can we
match.
go back
They're
to
not going
NBA
to.
style?
They're not
required.
Dude, I want
No, they can go
NBA
above
style
because they
sign and
already-
trade.
Yeah, this is a funky quirk in the collective bargaining agreement. Basically, the Sounders could have held Ozzy up and essentially screwed him by offering him $1 over the max, and then they could have basically held his free agent rights. At the end of the season presser, Garth basically said that would have been a dick move, and so since we're not going to offer him that much money, we're going to let him explore where he wants to go, which is a
Big
good thing to
words
do.
for someone who doesn't care about months that start with anything before June.
He's a lawyer, so he knows big words.
So they decided they're like, we'll let him test his free agency rights. I mean, I don't think they ever had any intention of signing him. So
No,
I think
they
there was
don't.
a number
yeah.
August 6th is A.
and a single year where they would have said yes, but
Yeah. It was
that's not a number or length that Ozzy would have said
is
yes
ever
to.
going to accept. Yeah. So
Ozzy has a lot of pride.
yeah.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
Um,
in various tweets and Instagram posts. So yeah, he was never going to sign for what they wanted. So I guess to Garth and the Sounders' credit, they didn't hold him up on a. Are you putting on a Alfaro jersey next?
Just strip it.
By
Mark
the way,
said he's cold,
if
so he's
Mark
taking all
put
of his
an
clothes off.
Alfaro jersey on, we should end the show and then literally never do a show ever again.
From the live audience, Mark is more dramatic than an Aussie tweet.
That checks out.
Checks out.
I'll Kermit drink to that.
So he's gonna. It looks like he's gonna be gone by the end of the week.
Yeah.
I have to say, as
Does he need
wiser
help moving?
people than I said
Ozzy?
earlier today,
No, he
get
can
that
afford
money.
it.
No, I'm just asking if he needs help so I can help him.
So
Nobody
Go
can
get
hear
paid, dude.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Make it. He's got what 2-3 years left. Yeah. Sign for what he can get.
Move to Chaska. It's going to be great. He could go
Do
to.
you think he lives in St. Paul
He could live in Edina,
or Minneapolis?
I am not familiar
also
with
known
that
as
area.
Edina. Every day I need attention.
Edina, which is a major upgrade from Medina.
Bellevue.
No, it is not.
It's upscale.
Have you been
Kirkland.
to Edina?
Yeah, actually.
That shit is cold.
That's why it was funny.
Who else is moving on from last year's team?
Tony Alfaro.
Oh, yeah.
Tony Alfaro's with
Damn!
1,500 words from Mark on Tony Alfaro, please.
If you watch,
You watch the mark.
Yeah.
So
Just because we're loud.
We're
This is
watching.
You have a
actually important.
microphone.
We can
This is an
actually
important
see the
move.
sound waves over here, and you can
Despite
see
Mark's
Mark.
anger. It's notable that the Seattle Sounders' fourth or fifth best center back is
Sam
now-
Rogers.
No, Tony Alfaro, because Sam Rogers wasn't with the Sounders last year.
Damn it.
He now plays for one of the greatest teams in the Confederation.
The Confederate?
No, in the Confederation. Mark.
Atlanta
Did you just say
United.
the
So, a player that
Couldn't get
is
on
an
S2.
afterthought for the Sounders is now with a team that everyone would rate better than the Sounders. So what you're probably going to see is Tony Alfaro as the third center back for Chivas de Guadalajara. And he's going to play fairly well.
No. No. That
Everyone's gonna
cannot be a
claim-
thing.
Everyone's going to claim that the Seattle Sounders can't develop a center back. And just like they developed Eric Zavaleta into
A mediocre center back.
just as they developed Eric Zavaleta into a center back that can win an MLS Cup, just as they developed Aaron Long into a center back that can win a Supporters Shield Defensive Player of the Year, they helped develop Tony Alfaro into being worthy of being on a team that is much better than they are. We've seen the Seattle Sounders against Chivas de Guadalajara. Chivas won.
That was 10 years ago.
Wait, I have a serious question. Are you actually suggesting that Tony Alfaro developed as a player
At all. Period. What?
and is and that the Sounders were not smart enough to keep him?
I didn't say that at all.
I would say that Tony Alfaro being signed by Chivas is 90% his heritage and 10% anything having to do with the Sounders.
I expect Tony Alfaro to have more minutes with Chivas de Guadalajara this year than he had with the Sounders last
He
year.
had like 0. So, 18 minutes?
No, excuse me.
Yeah, he got a red card.
You
against,
remember
We
when
can,
Mark hated
figure
him?
out
FC.
the number of times that Mark has been banned on Twitter based off of Tony's appearances.
That's actually
I
accurate.
have a
For all the
spreadsheet.
claims that the Seattle Sounders don't develop center backs, they develop center backs. They
That's
just
not
don't-
my take.
they just
Tony
don't
Alfaro is not a good center back.
They just don't develop them into center backs that are better than Chad Marshall, and so those center backs need to move on.
As a mediocre center back, I'm going to say that no. I literally don't understand. If
Free
Tony
transfer.
Alfaro is the third center back on Chivas, then Chivas should lose 1,000,000 games in a row.
I hope for that just because I enjoy Hugo Sanchez.
It's no. Also,
he actually,
Liga MX
We'll see.
is shit for defense.
he
So let's just
probably
be
fits
clear.
their style a lot better because
They don't play defense?
when he's
Liga MX does not play defense.
things he's better at as a center back are
Letting
passing
people
and passing.
letting
Yeah, and
people
he's good
run
with his
past
feet
him
as well.
He can dribble and pass, which is what they want.
looking at people as they run past
I
you.
didn't say he was a good defender. I said he was a good.
Yeah, he is.
So Tony Alfaro, Ozzy Alonso, Brad Evans,
and then a report Roman Torres is on the block and may be traded by
everybody's
sometime this week.
basically noted that like.
I mean, that's not
Torres
shocking. It's not shocking, obviously.
Report. Sam Steichel says that Roman Torres is an extra part. Yeah. You know what everybody in Seattle thought? Yeah, we knew that.
Yes. As soon as Kim Ki-hee got acclimated.
Once Kim played regularly, we knew Torres was a spare part. Like, Torres is the best third center back in MLS.
Yeah.
And he's probably starting quality on half the teams.
Or more.
At least.
Or more. There's a lot of terrible center backs. Look at the Galaxy.
Yeah, but
And they spend like twice as much on
And
center
that's-
backs as the Sounders did.
And that's just
got-
8
It's
of them.
incredible
Yeah.
because the Sounders spend a shit ton on
Yeah,
center backs.
exactly.
Like, Chad Marshall, Kim Ki-hee, and Ramon Torres
a million
pricey
plus
center back.
$1 million+.
2 TAM players and a near max domestic.
Yeah.
But not Red Bull, not Atlanta, maybe Portland.
Well, that'd be something.
No, I'm just like who he's better than.
Oh,
like of
do
the
it.
good teams,
Of the good teams. That's I'd
So
have to go
not Kansas City.
in the
Not
chat,
LAFC.
Emily notes that at one point Tony scored for S2, and they didn't know who he was. So when Hugo said number 15, Tony, everyone just shouted Tony again.
The glory days of S2 at Starfire.
New Who?
Tony.
Question mark?
So I don't think anybody else of major note is
Lamar
on-
Nagel is still a free agent.
He was
they may
also
give
in
him
that,
the
like the
Estrada
set
treatment,
list.
maybe.
Wasn't he in the band
Signed to a
list
S2
for
deal, slash coaching.
for Sounders next season that Danny had posted on Twitter
Oh,
the other day? It was like another,
the fake Coachella thing.
which by the way is
Fire.
legit good marketing.
He did a really good job with that.
I'm pretty.
I'm kind of
pleased with
ashamed
that.
that the team didn't pick it up and he just did it on his own.
It was
'cause-
pretty good.
Danny C has a last name I can't pronounce because it's
It's
Italian.
Italian.
Is not cacciatore.
Yes,
Good
it
effort.
is.
That was a good effort.
But
Now it is.
It should be
he
Chachio.
He did a fake Coachella that was all like Sounders memes and player names, and it was beautiful. And maybe Weigel will throw it up on the screen here in a little bit.
If somebody sends it to me, I'll find it.
Just
I'll
search
put it
for
on.
Danny Cacciatore.
Chachio.
He's gonna kill me the next time I see him.
Ciasio.
No, but Mark Kastner does, who will tell Danny.
Fuck Mark Cass.
Wow.
You're not
So-
on a microphone.
so normal.
so,
I'm sorry. Fuck Mark Kastner.
Jesus.
I just said it.
What?
She just sent you the Danny Cassio Coachella mock-up on.
Wait, hold on. I got an update.
Yo.
Message or what? I don't
Breaking news.
Wait, breaking news! Like I
I asked about Luis Suarez doing scarves up.
Yeah.
I was told, quote, and this is straight sarcasm, I'm sure he has some time off around then. Maybe we'll just sign him instead.
He owes me money.
Wait, where did you send it? Okay. I know how to use. Yeah,
Oh, to Weigel himself.
I'm looking.
By the way, you can follow Weigel at Weigel, WYGLE.
but I'm not really using Twitter right now.
Wait,
I
how
mean,
does-
I'm literally using Twitter right now.
How does Twitter work?
And you can send him stuff that will totally distract the rest of us. It's almost like talking to Mark, but more
Mark's
effective.
phone. All right, so there it is. It's on the screen now.
Tom,
You should be able to see it all.
3, 4, 5, 6.
Thank you. Thank you for your DM, Kristen. Very much.
It was actually really good.
Tom, one of you and I have to like focus. 'cause
Oh, that's right.
Neither of us
Sorry.
are focused.
There you go.
We got to get back into this.
Uh,
We have to.
S2 ban name pending.
Working out the kinks.
Show that to Tom.
No.
That's really
I'm helping
good.
his
Tom,
website.
That's
Of
really
the
good.
9 things that we were supposed to discuss today,
How many have we done?
4.
Woo!
8.
Oh, hell yeah.
No.
Did you write another one?
Things we need to discuss.
No.
What is
So
left?
we're basically now at the part of the show I like to call plug some shit.
Oh,
It's
wait,
Mickey's
quickly-
birthday!
Really quickly before we move
3
on,
hours.
there is one thing
Get
that
out
has
from under
happened
this.
since we last met that we haven't discussed. We talked about players leaving, but we didn't talk about players arriving that we know about.
There's a new report actually that we may have.
Jonathan Campbell?
Somebody who is named after a soup.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jonathan Campbell.
Yeah.
That is
Jonathan
not the-
Campbell, formerly of the Chicago Fire.
who the-
Fire!
Bragel.
Fire, 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 fire.
Bragle pointed it out.
Fire, 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 fire.
That's another concert thing that
So,
maybe Danny should do a
Jonathan Campbell, center back.
fire concert.
Chicago Fire was drafted well, played well during their good year, and then they were garbage, and they didn't play him anymore. So when they were good, they played him, and then they didn't play
in
him.
Indiana.
And so now Seattle's. What's weird is
I think
if
it's
they
because he
keep-
was a Section 8 member, and then they weren't allowed to let him in the stadium.
Harry Ship.
There's a good reason they're called Section 8.
Joke's on you!
So
Actually,
let's
the
say
joke
the
is on
Seattle
you,
Senators
but
don't make any trades.
on your hat.
Jonathan Campbell, who was a starting center back the last time the Fire made the playoffs and were good, would be the Chad Marshall, Kim Keehee, Ramon Torres, Gustav Svensson, 5th best center back on the Seattle Sounders.
You can get your dicks with no buttons.
So they got a lot better, and they traded a 4th-round pick.
Which is
and a
which is
4th
usually
round pick
pass.
these days is like. Remember back in 2009 when there was a draft, and they had 6th round? That's basically where the 4th round is now.
Most of the teams pass.
No,
or I
well-
can say about 30% of the teams pass.
A third of the teams. Seattle drafted somebody that didn't make a professional roster anywhere. So when you trade a 4th round pick, you're saying we have to trade you something, but it's nothing.
Yeah.
So Jonathan Campbell, and then report today from American Soccer Now reporter Brian
Sharetta.
Sure.
87% sure that's right.
Says that Trey Muse is about to ink a contract with the Sounders. Trey Muse is the United States U20 national team goalkeeper, Indiana University goalkeeper. Indiana has made the final and the semifinal.
Yeah,
of
they're really
the
good.
NCAA. They have an extraordinary defense, almost all because of him. Muse is great. He played here for 2 years with the academy. He's out of Louisville, Kentucky. Louisville, Kentucky. Brum. He's been on trial with a couple different foreign clubs at various points.
When you say Ben on trial, does Mickey Turner need to get involved?
No. Soccer trial, not court trial.
Got it.
Trey Muse will basically start all of S2B named Tacoma Screw.
By the way,
games
if
next
we
year.
don't fucking call it that, we have failed
Well, you call them
as
Cowboys
people.
last year. And that's it for
And
like,
they
new
still
talent.
don't
Like,
have
they
Rainiers.
have a lot of open roster spots. On the homegrown front, follow Sam Rogers and Tevez who's with UW right now. He started about 10 games with S2 last year and played a handful of others. Was a defensive midfielder for the USL side, but was a
just keep
forward
going.
for the Huskies. Follow those two. There still isn't an international roster spot open, but they do have a DP slot.
Stop laughing.
Somebody's going to only get the audio version of this podcast,
They're going to wonder what the hell
and
going
they're
on.
going to be like, Dave is the...
Like, can we please have a guess of that?
Do you guys,
hoodie. Yeah, that was good. I love that. All right. Yo.
do you guys remember the time that Adam became a hut?
What's that?
I heard we missed out on breakfast.
I'm being told what to do.
Are you
Oh.
flexing your leg into my shoulder?
My growing is, or his growing is getting uncomfortably close.
You really need a game to happen. Like,
So
seriously.
the best part is about a week ago in ECS
I
Slack.
forgot a thing we were supposed to talk about.
Wait.
What the fuck, Dave?
I can't get uneven.
My grocery list.
It's leg day. Dave, what do you got?
We forgot to talk about Steve Zakuani's film Unbreakable.
He'll be here next week, from what I understand.
That's what he told me
If
before
he's
the
watching
holidays.
this, I
Let's see
highly
if it
doubt
happens.
it.
I should tweet him. I'll tweet at him.
Remind him from SonarFeed that he's supposed to be on next week. So Unbreakable is a documentary following Steve Zakuani's life. It involves him going back to North London where he grew up, talking to some of his friends there. We talked. Caleb Porter is featured on it because Caleb had such an important part in Steve's life. Siggy's involved. Brian's involved.
I do have a special treat for next week. Although it's no longer in his diet, I think he will appreciate the fact that I have it here. That's all I got.
Oh, good. That's great. I have a thing.
A zig
So Steve's going to talk a little bit about that.
Do you want to be Steve's lover?
Hell yeah! I mean,
I have watched it twice now, and what was surprising to me in Unbreakable, it's at unbreakable11.com. It's on February 9th, which is actually Steve Zakuani's birthday. Don't trust Wikipedia. One of the things that was interesting to me was his friends that knew him when he was in high school age were surprised that he passed the SAT. They were like, he's basically their impression was Steve was kind of dumb.
Well, that's what all my friends said about me.
Yeah, but
And then you went to
as an
Wazoo.
adult, everybody thinks that Steve's smart, and as an adult,
Differential
they
equation.
think that you're Mark.
I mean, you took it.
I got an A.
Oh, okay.
So it was really interesting to see people who knew Steve pre-Akron, and they were like, "Wow, he qualified for college." Because when we think about Steve Zakuani, we think about like this guy who reads like nonfiction books for fun and is really smart and aware of like history and social.
All the time.
True. So it was really interesting for me to see that snapshot and
yes.
talking. You weren't even on the microphone. Seeing that snapshot of like his friends' impressions of him before so many things happened, like for Steve. So unbreakable11.com. The film release is February 9th. And I'm a guy who has known Steve basically from about this time in 2009, I think was the first time I talked to him. And to find a film, like, he wrote a book. We've known him. He's been on this show like 8 times, I think. And, like, still the film shows us some interesting insight into him and his reactions to the injury and what it was like to go through that, but also a lot more. 500 Days, the book that he wrote, was very much about the injury and its recovery. Unbreakable is
I really want to make an M. Night Shyamalan joke.
yeah. There's a lot that's about the foundation
I mean,
of
like,
who he is and what set him up to be the type of person who would come back from such a thing. Because I know if I got injured like that, I'd be like, fuck it. I'm done. And
Mario Kart every day.
so
That's what I do.
Steve Zakuani is probably going to be on with us next week. I'm going to remind him he has been traveling a lot. He agreed to this before Christmas, so he may have forgotten.
I tweeted at him that
I only remember
To remind him.
You tweeted it.
Now,
What else? What else we got? Tom? There's a new.
is not.
No.
There is only one Girl Scout cookie.
Samoas.
No. No,
Oh,
because
that could go all the way.
yeah, we'll forget it up there too.
That might be a bad
Get
idea.
it up there because if I let go of it, it's going away.
That costs more than your.
What else do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? Tom.
There was a Tweety question?
I'm just
What was
asking.
it?
What? Did somebody tweet a question?
They
at
did.
us? I didn't see it. Wait, no, that's not it. Well, there was the question from Rachel wanting to know if Mark could pick Rachel up so she can harass Steve. He says, "Done, Rachel. You're not listening."
I already responded to
That was not the question that the live audience wanted us to address.
If you could only go to one away trip this season,
Oh, that's a legit question.
which game would it be?
Miki, it's your day.
What was the question again?
Aside from Portland and Vancouver, I would say DC is looking pretty solid. That's a good one.
Audi
Check out the new
Field?
stadium. Yeah, Audi Field.
Something like
Weigel.
In September, so the weather will be reasonable.
I'm
So
going
that's
all the
definitely
way.
mine.
I'm going to you next so that they can transition microphone and we'll actually let Mark talk. One away trip.
I know.
Your
I
choice.
know. This is a tough question because I really have no idea what the hell other
Hold on, we'll
cities
come back to you.
are. Like I know that Portland has a football team that's like
So I have
Timbers.
two. One is MLS and one is USL. The first is MLS.
Are you going to try and do this shit?
Yeah, I am.
We are all explain
Columbus. That's the one.
it. Explain it.
Number one is abso-fucking-lutely Minnesota United because, god damn it, Dave and I are going to do the log ride again
When is it?
for the third year in a row.
May. That's in May.
It's actually
Big
a
day.
really good
Greco.
time.
May.
Also, they have a brand new stadium opening up across
Star
the
Wars Day.
Done yet done.
So
that was
Allianz, it was very too loud to the people
It's
in
a-
here, whether or not they're on the
I
microphone,
have
because
a-
you slam
I
everything
have a
every time.
compressor on the thing,
Good,
so the
good.
people at home, they're totally fine.
So the second,
Their
the
new
second-
stadium is across the street from Blackheart.
Let it go.
Okay.
the-
Wes, he bought a bar, and it's a former lesbian bar
know.
that now does drag and soccer, and it's great. Blackheart, St. Paul.
Anyways,
Go there, not on
Okay,
game
Tom,
day.
what do you want to go to?
no. I got my
Wait, you're
part
what's your
two.
second for
Part two.
USL?
This is so good.
If you don't say Las Vegas, you're wrong.
It's
Part
better
two
than that.
Is go celebrate Kelly's birthday in motherfucking Las Vegas.
Is that seriously the same weekend?
It
It's
is
better than the same weekend,
So-
Adam.
So the best
Is
part,
that seriously the same
the
day?
best part is you can go to our home match against TFC, get on a plane
The
to
USL
Vegas,
schedule is out.
DB Cooper it, and fly
We
into
should probably know that.
the stadium.
You actually don't have to
Wait.
DB Cooper it.
Okay,
Actually,
time out.
you don't.
Time out. Dave and I have a really serious question. The USL schedule is out?
Yeah, well that match is
That match
That specific
is.
match.
yeah, April 12th.
But the whole
Right,
USL
well-
schedule is out?
Yeah,
I love the fact that the two people who work with USL work for USL, and one of the people who
It's the
literally
13th.
writes about the
13th,
Sounders.
13th.
I've totally forgot.
Anyways,
Neither one of
So
us.
you can literally
Glitter-
watch TFC at home, leave, fly to Vegas, go to a game in Vegas, and if you wanted to, you could just fly home that night.
or since the match
That's
won't
a very
matter,
that's very Vegas.
since the
Don't
match-
do that.
Since the match won't matter, you can just leave on Friday, go to Vegas, spend the weekend.
At Garth, though.
I have a question for you. You talked about two different matches, and then you said the match won't matter.
The TFC match
there's
won't matter.
No English in that statement. It means nothing the way you phrased it.
I just came from England. I know
Say it
all
in
about
Welsh.
English.
Dave, the first match is March 9th.
Maybe
That
that's
I
the
knew.
problem is
And then
I
March
went through
16th.
Newcastle,
It's at home.
England.
I think
Yes.
we're busy that night.
Anyways,
Yes, I gotta check my schedule.
TFC is playing the Sounders first team at home.
That's like
at
a
1
week-
p.m.
That's 2 months and 2 days. So we better.
However,
yeah.
the beginning of the season doesn't matter anyways So go to Glitter Kitty away. Just saying.
I would say my away. Right now, my must-do away is probably Montreal.
Oh, yes. Let me know if you're going to do that because we're
early
going.
June.
Perfect time to go to Montreal.
It's a weekday, which is a little bit
is it?
jacked up. Yeah, it's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday game?
But it's Montreal in June, and that's pretty awesome.
And Montreal's epic.
If I were to travel elsewhere, I would do NYCFC July 3rd.
You want to go see a Yankees game?
I do.
As someone in the group that chanted 1, 2, 3 goals and you're out, which, by the way, the Yankee Stadium staff did not like
appreciate
at all.
By the way, July 3rd to be in New York, basically for the 4th of July. That's pretty awesome.
Are the
Super
Mets in
fucking
town?
cool.
Are the Mets in town, though? Serious?
Who?
The Mets.
I don't know.
The real
You asked me to
baseball
not
team.
throw your phone away.
If I was going to go to
Easy.
Shake Shack, I wouldn't go out to Citi Field.
As they would say in England.
You don't know what they'd say in England.
But really,
You're a
I have to
four-letter
say,
word
I have to say,
that ends in
of
T.
schedules in how many years of Sounders? 11. In 11 years of Sounders, this might be the first schedule that I've been like, I'm actually pretty good with it. It's got a good. I think it's got a good mix of stuff.
Is Rutgers at home? Tom, is Rutgers
there's
playing?
Two double dips. As in overlaps.
Tom, is Rutgers playing?
Don't know.
Shitty fan.
Ask Alexi.
Alexi or Alexa?
Alexa.
I mean, Alexi went to
He's
Rutgers,
making an
so
Alexi reference.
Can I rename?
No, you can't.
not yet.
Amazon
It's still either
Alexa.
computer
Alexa,
or Alexa.
order me more vacuum bags and answer this question.
All right, so next week, Steve Zakawani, we think.
Hopefully. I tweeted him, so
wait,
he'll
hold
be
on.
here.
Allegedly,
I tweeted him. He'll be here.
will be on that wine. This week, I don't think we're going to have any drama.
That MLS Super Draft is...
What?
That's a thing? The MLS Super Draft? That's a thing, I guess.
What?
I got you.
Got it. So for the rest of the week, we're going to celebrate Mickey's birthday. Happy birthday, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks to everybody for joining us here in downtown Renton.
Oh, shit, get ready to end the show? Okay. This button, right? Head of the curve.
We'll have a few things to talk about ECS-wise. If you need a first match ticket and you don't have one, I think we have like 10 left. Well, that ECS has so far. We're going to have some cool stuff. Like, we're definitely going to do Wino Away out in Yakima. So if you were into that last
Always
year,
an awesome time.
We're going to be ahead of it and tell people well in advance so they can plan for it. And I think we're going to do some cool things from a travel standpoint, ECS-wise. We're trying to figure out some just, I think, different ways of supporting and making sure more people are able to get out there travel-wise. Dave, look, a drink.
Yay!
If you're here from Sounder at Heart, say goodnight.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, Adam.
Good night, Tom.
Good night, Mickey.
Good night, Tom. Good night, Adam. Good night, Dave.
Good night, Glowworm.
Good night, Moon.
Only 53 days, 21 hours, 48 minutes, and
Buy your
59
ECS
seconds.
memberships.
For
Sign up for
58
TIFO.
seconds. You owe me an
Oh, we
ECS
skipped plug
membership.
some shit.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.